Welcome back to the party. I'm Luke Inman on Twitter at Luke_Spinman. Sam Ekstrom, he's gone today, which means I can finally do this.
I'm Luke Braun from Locked On Vikings, and I'm excited to stare directly into the sun today.
Hey, this is Arif Hasan from the Wide Left Substack. Yesterday we watched the total eclipse of the Clark.
Locked On Sports Minnesota podcast. It's endless Minnesota Vikings talk with the diverse voices of your local experts. It's time for the
Minnesota football party. What's up? Back in the lab, back at it. Back at it. Oh, we're going to have some fun today, boys. Back at it. Dad's gone. He's in Texas. You can see the crew for today, right?
Hi.
Sam the man. We're down one man. He decided to take the fam. He's down in Texas, and he's going to check out the solar eclipse, which I think is pretty cool. As we record this, the eclipse takes place in, looks like T-1 hour. So, Sam, if you're listening, don't look directly at it, right? Is that what they say?
Sam, look directly at the eclipse. Also, Luke, can we go to the 3 box, please?
Yeah,
this is uncomfortable.
Let's go to the 3 box. Let's do it. Let's go to the 3 box. Is that fine? Is that all right?
It's just like, wait, what are we doing?
So needy, man. All right. Arif, he'll be in his trailer all day now.
Are we like live? Or are we just recording today? Is that?
Oh, buddy, we're live.
We are super live.
Baby. We're live. Here's the thing. Big boy show lined up today. Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook made the news this week. Are we surprised he still hasn't found a new team? And how much of an impact is Aaron Jones going to make for the Vikings offense in 2024? Plus, I got some Vikings draft trivia. You're going to want to stick around for that. It's going to be Luke Braun versus Arif Hasan, mano y mano. We're also going to do a live mock draft with you guys up on the PFF mock draft simulator. It's time with 17 days before the NFL draft. And as always, pending some time at the end, we'll take some fan Q&A as well. But before we jump into it, quick reminder, today's episode brought to us by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. That's code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Okay, let's kick things off right here. 17 days until the NFL draft. Rumors keep swirling, obviously, around the Minnesota Vikings specifically. I want to touch on that a little bit more here in a moment. But Dalvin Cook, not sure if you remember him, former Vikings running back, right?
Who?
He made the headlines this week. He basically
James's brother?
Yeah, James's brother from Buffalo. Yeah.
Right.
Nice guy. He basically came out and said, I don't know if you read it, but he said, paraphrasing here, but hey, the legs are as fresh as they've ever been. My resume speaks for itself, and I'm
in the best shape of my life.
I'm still the best shape of my life. I'm still the same.
Of course, the legs are fresh. He didn't play last year.
Right. 67 carries, by the way, 67 carries. So,
yeah,
a two-part question here for you guys, just to kick things off. This was without a doubt one of the top 5 running backs in the league for multiple years, not that long ago. He's clearly fresh. He's only had 67 carries last season. He'll be 29 in August. So 28 right now, going to be 29 by week 1. Are you surprised he didn't get signed during the first wave, the second wave, the third wave, the fourth wave of free agency? And is this more of a Dalvin thing and how the league perceives him, or is this more of a running back market thing? Because remember, we were told by Kwesi at last month's presser, the running back market, it almost gone too far now. It was starting to be in the process of maybe overcorrecting itself to some degree. So, Luke, kick things off. What do you think?
It's got to be it's a market thing for me. I don't think that this is unique to Dalvin Cook at all. It's just what happens when you show a sign of age as a running back, because it's so cheap to get a fresh Adrian Peterson. Has he retired yet?
No.
Fantastic. But once you show a sign of age, which Dalvin Cook absolutely did with the Jets and then the Ravens, he got cut in the middle of the season. When that stuff starts happening to you, you're taking veteran minimums until you're ready to retire. That's just going to be the way it is. And I think a lot of players will just kind of take it to camp, because then that's when they like finally accept that they're not going to get the money that they think they're going to get. Or maybe they will get more money and people are waiting for the compensatory formula to not be affected, which would be after the draft. But I don't think that that's the case with Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, something to think about, though, too.
you're-
Arif, I was just going to say real quick. Last week, we talked about, okay, Vikings fans maybe feeling a little vindicated after seeing Stephon Diggs get traded again. Maybe we weren't so crazy all along. Obviously, a lot of layers to that whole story, like we talked about last week. Check that episode out. But do you think we should feel the same after seeing Dalvin float around in free agency for so long? Because remember, a lot was made when we parted ways with him. And I think even although a lot of fans said, okay, this is the right move, running backs don't matter, quote unquote, there was still plenty of folks who said he's still a special talent. Why are we getting rid of this guy?
I don't know that there was like a ton of people who thought
Still
that.
Just
Just a tiny bit. Yeah, I guess if dunking on a small and not even that vocal minority feels good, then by all means, Luke.
Are you
But yeah,
listening? That one guy out there, are you listening?
yeah. I'm always curious about situations like that because, like you mentioned, like holding out until the beginning of camp, and it's just like, do you think that's why Dalton Reisner fired his agent and hired a new one because he thought the reason he couldn't sign with the team is because his agent was giving him an unrealistic expectation of what his offers were, and so he was holding out until he got a good one? Like, does Dalvin think that that's where he's at? I don't know. Every running back thinks that they can do like a Chris Johnson and come back the second time around and put together like a super productive couple of seasons, and that's just probably not in the cards. Plus, this was like a nuts running back market, right? In free agency.
I was just going to bring that up.
Wanted to sign a guy did.
Right. I was going to say, maybe Kwesi is right to some degree here because the whole running back market reverting kind of back to the median a little bit to some degree seems kind of accurate, right? Saquon Barkley got the bag in Philly. Joe Mixon got paid in Houston. Josh Jacobs replaces Aaron Jones in Green Bay. And, you know, it's tough to maybe sit here and say it's an age thing or a wear and tear thing with Dalvin Cook too, right? Because Derrick Henry just got paid to be running back one in Baltimore. Guys like Austin Eckler, who's 28, going to be 29 as well. He got a 2-year deal in Washington. Who else? Tony Pollard in Tennessee. DeAndre Swift got overpaid, in my opinion, in Chicago. Devin Singletary, he's penciled in as the starter in New York. Zach Moss got a 2-year deal with the Bengals. That's
good
like
for
10
him,
names, man. Yeah, good for him. He's been solid.
But,
yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's just it's because there were so many running backs on the market. It was just like not a ton of reasons to try and, you know, stretch what you can do to try and get like a primary guy into the building, right? So I think that's part of it. I think the other thing is like, yeah, I think age plays a role. It's just a question of kind of how much do you trust that age is going to diminish the running back you're signing. With Derrick Henry, a lot of people are pretty confident, like, hey, this guy keeps trucking, man. I'm going to believe that age is impacting him once it does. With Dalvin Cook, it's like, when's the last time he was good? Like, now he's old, but also when's the last time he was good, right? So I think that's like part of it too, right? Is that when you've got a young running back and their previous season wasn't all that great, you're willing to take a bet on that guy, right? But when you've got the same profile for an older back, you're not going to take that bet because age is playing a role, right? Because you don't think that, you know, they're going to be able to bring back the stuff that made them so interesting. So, yeah, I think age is playing a role, but also like the fact that he hasn't been good for like 2 years.
There's also a strong possibility, I guess, or at least 50-50. The dude's just asking for ridiculous money again. Like, that wouldn't shock me either. It's probably hard to come to grips with the market after you were just getting paid 12, 13 million a year not that long ago, too. So he's obviously itching to play, though, from the sounds of it. I still think there's a great chance he ends up somewhere during camp when somebody goes down with an injury. But what's the odds he never gets signed anywhere, doesn't play in 2024? Like, is it 5%? Or is it 50%? Top of your head, Arif, what do you think?
It's like 70? It seems pretty likely that he's not going to
70% that he does not play in 2024?
Well,
correct.
Oh, I think push will come to shove. Something will give and he'll take a deal somewhere, no? Or will he just retire?
I would think so. Yeah, I would put it at like 20% chance he doesn't play. I got to think.
Like eve of camp.
Injuries.
So in the scenarios
in
the scenarios where you're envisioning that he plays, like how many carries is that? 20 for the season?
I don't know about start, but like I don't think he'll be a free agent.
There's so many rotations now, too. There's no like running back one rooms anymore, it feels like. So, yeah, he would be part of this rotation. The question is he the number 2 guy in the rotation or is he the number 3 guy in the rotation? Obviously depends on the landing spot as well. Maybe he's holding out for an ideal landing spot. Obviously, like he's found out, though, no ideal landing spots when it comes to a running back 1 in today's day and age. But again, yeah, maybe some vindication from some fans. Dalvin's skill set, maybe the explosiveness actually did fall off those last 2 years he was here in Minnesota. Obviously, the Alexander Madison experiment didn't go really according to plan last year either. So after what felt like, when you think back, it felt like 2 straight decades of a dominant run game between Adrian Peterson, segueing into Dalvin Cook. There's been kind of a dry spell here, so to speak, the last few years. And even if you say running backs don't matter, which is fine, you can't really argue the lack of a consistent run game has kind of stalled this offense out at times, or at least in certain categories and areas. The big one for me, time of possession, 30th in the league in 2022, better last year, but still below average at 19th in the league. So just how much better do you think everything's going to look, I guess, with Aaron Jones now as kind of this bell cow? And I guess in turn, too, how much pressure is that going to take off a new quarterback, whether it's Sam Darnold or a rookie under center? What do you think, Luke?
You're going to have to ask me that one again.
I was just going to say, Aaron Jones, how much better do you think
Aaron
things
Jones
look now with a real running game with Aaron Jones? That's all.
We'll see what we get out of him. I think it's going to be one of those things where when he is on the field, you will like see efficiency, but I don't know what kind of volume you're going to get out of him. Just availability. Is he going to be on a pitch count? That kind of thing. So I do think that like the backup running back position is particularly important, and they seem to really, they seem to believe in Ty Chandler to get that, but I don't know if I believe in Ty Chandler as much to have that RB2 job, like,
yeah,
anointed without any competition, any serious competition, except for like Dwayne McBride. But we'll see. Maybe they add somebody in the late rounds this year.
Yeah, Arif, you think this running game is going to look more improved? Do you think it was maybe not the running back all along? Maybe it was the run scheme to some degree, or the offensive lineman, the run blocking up front? What do you think it's going to look like with Aaron Jones as the 1 and Ty Chandler as the 2 now?
I mean, I do think it'll improve. I think that obviously it's all contingent upon running backs being able to perform at the level that they've performed previously. And with Aaron Jones, you don't know because of the injury history and things like that. But I think that given how he played last year, which I thought was somewhat impressive, given how poorly Alexander Madison played last year and kind of the differences between the two when they were given kind of well-blocked running plays, I think that there is a pretty substantial difference. I do think that the expectation that Jones takes on a relatively big portion of the carries is probably fair. I think that like the fantasy guys that got pretty wild about the Aaron Jones signing are actually probably correct in this instance, just because the Vikings have not really demonstrated a ton of trust in Ty Chandler, and that's fine. I think that for the most part, when you take a look at like metrics like, rush yards over expected, like how many rushing yards are they generating based off of how an average running back with the similar blocking situation generates, Madison was doing extremely poorly, and Ty Chandler, oscillated a lot between games, right? In terms of like, good performance, bad performance. Aaron Jones has been pretty consistent about being on the positive side of that ledger. So I do think that we're going to see an improvement in the running game. What that means for the rest of the offense, I don't want to overstate it, but I do think that, we are kind of flipping back to this side of like running backs mattering, right? Like we have found the extreme edge of running backs not mattering and have not liked what we've seen. And so we're now going back to finding backs that are actually pretty good at running the ball. And I think that Aaron Jones is one of them.
I know it's only April 8th here, but Luke, you think it's a clear running back 1 situation? Chandler's the backup? Because you don't see that a lot anymore, right? Most teams have this committee approach, running back by committee. Do you think it's more of a 50-50 split or what? I personally think KOC's rooting for Ty Chandler quite a bit, man. I mean, that was one of his first draft picks ever on the offensive side of the ball. Remember, they went Seen, Booth, Asamoah Evans, Ty Chandler. They went Naylor and Muse a round or 2 later. But that's like his baby, I feel like. What's the running back split look like in the rotation?
Probably, if I had to guess, it would be like you get 2 Ty Chandler drives a game, and then the rest of it's Aaron Jones.
Mhm.
And you're just spelling him for fatigue, basically. But that's really a fatigue question. It's a maintenance question. How are you feeling, kind of thing? Do you need to sit one out? But I don't think you get like a true split. Like we kind of saw a lot of different kinds of splits. We saw them go every other drive. We saw them go, every few reps they would switch guys out. We saw them switch guys out situationally and like truly split stuff up when they were trying to figure out anything with Alexander Madison and Ty Chandler that worked, and Cam Akers. But I think the default will probably be Aaron Jones, except for a couple of drives.
Yeah, that makes sense too. I feel like ultimately that's probably how it'll play out. It'll be really interesting to get out to training camp, see some preseason drives, things like that, just to see what it's all going to look. Not just the running game, guys, the entire offense. Sam Darnold, probably a rookie quarterback in the mix. You got the weapons to be excited about at the skill positions, and now Aaron Jones. It just feels like he brings a real threat, some new excitement on the ground for the first time in a while. So that's going to be fun. All right, don't go anywhere. Coming up, we got Arif Hasan versus Luke Braun in Vikings trivia. That's all coming up right after this. Quick reminder, today's episode brought to us by Gametime, because you should never have to worry when buying tickets to any big event. That's why Gametime is the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets to any local event. Concerts, comedy shows, sporting events, Broadway theater. Personally, for me, I love that view from the seat feature they offer, so I can get a real look and accurate visual where my seats are going to be, so I know exactly what to expect before you spend all that money. And with their all-in prices, Gametime shows you exactly how much you're spending with no hidden fees. It's time to take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app. See for yourself how easy it is. Just create an account. Use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Again, just create any new account and redeem your code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Download Gametime today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. Gametime, terms apply. All right, boys, it's that time. Vikings draft trivia. Arif versus Braun, mano y mano. I got about 12 questions here. Some of them are kind of two-parters. You're going to have to get both right to get the point. First one to say your name, you'll get the first crack at it. Let's get some tunes going here. What did we do last time? I feel like we went.
We have licensed tunes?
This is just a preloaded StreamYard. Appreciate you. Preloaded. I don't know how loud this is on the other end.
It's kind of loud.
Do we go way down here?
There we go.
Comment in the live stream if this is too loud, not loud enough. We need a little ambiance going on. Okay. All right.
Unbelievable podcasting.
I cannot believe we export this to a podcast feed.
Sam's staring up at the eclipse right now, just shaking his head, going, "Unbelievable. Take me away. Take me away." All right.
You're taking out my eyes. Can you take out my ears? That's what Sam said.
Number one, first one up. How many quarterbacks have the Vikings drafted in the first round of franchise history, and who are they? Got to name all of them correctly for the point.
Oh, all right.
Luke
Braun.
The answer is 4. Mm-hmm. They are Teddy Bridgewater, Christian Ponder, Dante Culpepper, and Tommy Kramer.
That's right. First point goes to Luke Braun. Arif, what are you sleeping? Let's go, man. Wake up.
There's no way I was going to get that one.
Number 2, Blake Cashman was drafted in the 5th round in 2019. Which linebacker did the Vikings also draft in the 5th round that year, less than 10 picks later?
Arif.
Luke Braun.
Cam Smith.
Cameron Smith. That's right.
I would have gotten that one wrong.
Wine connoisseur.
2-0. Okay, number 3. All right, I got some Rick Spielman era specific ones for you here. Rick, by the way, I just want to clarify these. He started with the team in 2006, but officially he took over as the head GM in 2012. So from 2012 to his final year, 2021, he was a part of 10 total draft classes. How many 7th round picks did he amass and select over his 10-year span? Person who's closest gets the point. How about that?
Okay.
So it doesn't really matter. Okay.
So yeah, both of you can guess. Yeah. Who's ever close?
Hey, Sam Ekstrom's in the chat. He's avoiding his children. That's
good.
Real.
Arif. Let's go with 25.
25.
Let's go with
okay.
25.
Okay. Luke Braun, what's your guess?
I say I'll be strategic about this and pick 24.
You're gonna Price is Right me? Okay.
Yep.
Wow. I thought Arif almost nailed it at 25 because he did almost nail it, but Luke Braun literally nailed it.
It was 24.
You guys are freaks, man. That is scary. That is spooky.
My logic was only Price is Right logic. I had no idea.
24.
Yeah, I was like, whoever picks second's gonna have like a pretty significant advantage here, but we needed the game to get going.
Unbelievable. All right, 3-0, Luke Braun. Of those 24 picks, number 4 right here, of those 24 picks, 2 of them were in his first year, 2012. Name one of his 2 first ever 7th round picks.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Is that tough? All right, I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
One of these guys had 2 pick sixes in a preseason game.
Okay,
Arif.
yeah. Luke. Yeah.
Arif.
Michael Motti.
Audi Cole.
Oh,
Adi
Christ.
Cole, North Carolina
wrong
State.
7th round linebacker.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, I was
I
going to
think
say,
Motti
you were
was
close. You had the
2015,
right
right?
idea. You had the
Yeah.
right idea.
Yeah.
You were all
Oh my
over it.
God. Yeah.
Oh, who was the other one?
Oh, the other one was
Some guy that didn't make the team?
The other one was Trevor Guyton, defensive end from California.
Hey,
Trevor
yeah.
Guyton.
Yeah.
We got to get this music on Luke.
Great
There
guy.
we go. Okay. All right. It's a sweep so far. 4-0. Luke Braun, number 5 right
Yeah.
here. That same year in 2012, Rick also had 3 fourth-round picks. He used 2 of them on receivers from what school?
Arif.
Arif.
Arkansas.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
Greg Childs.
Would've never known.
Jarius Wright.
Yeah, almost got Joe Adams too. Would have been a 3-peat.
Almost got Joe Adam. Wow, that was deep in the well. Well played. All right. Arif on the board.
Right.
Let's go with number 6 here. That same year, still sticking around in 2012, Rick also drafted 2 of the same position from the same school. Again, name those 2 players and their school.
Of the same position?
Same position.
Arif.
Arif.
Harrison Smith and Robert Blanton.
That's right.
Oh, Robert
That's right.
Blanton.
Yes.
I was like, Harrison Smith and
Arif.
Kyle Rudolph was a whole Notre Dame thing, but that wasn't. I was like so off.
Yes, Arif. How funny
Oh,
is
he's coming
that,
back
dude?
on me.
Yeah, 4-2, Luke Braun.
Dude,
How
honestly,
funny is that, though?
I'm proud I got 2. If we leave 10-2, I'm fine.
We're hanging out in
Don't-
like the
don't-
peak of old draft Twitter when I was not in this space.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah,
we've
we've moved from like 60s history to specifically 2012 to 2014.
Yeah. Like 2011
like,
to 2015.
Well,
That's
here's
Arif's
the thing.
home field advantage.
That's true. I just thought it was hilarious. Spielman's first year, he drafts 2 USC boys, 2 wide receivers from Arkansas, and 2 Notre Dame safeties. all in the
I
same
remember
class.
we
I think that's
asked,
hilarious.
we asked
dude.
Leslie Frazier, like,
Yeah.
hey, is this like a whole deal? And he's like, yeah, it was my idea. We think we got to get guys from the same school because they'll
Hashtag
acclimate
chemistry.
faster.
That's where it's
And as
spawned
soon
right
as
there.
Leslie Frazier was gone, Spielman was like, no, we're just going to get guys. What?
So that whole thing was all right. Okay. All right, number 7.
Still did the Bar Kendricks thing.
They did do the Bar Kendricks thing, yeah.
Yeah, but not in the same draft.
That's true. All right, next one up, number 7, 4-2, Luke Braun. The Vikings originally held the 3rd overall pick in the 2012 draft, but traded back 1 spot with which team so they could
Luke.
take what player?
Luke.
I think I heard of Luke
Wait,
Braun.
so that team could take what player?
Yeah, which team did they trade back with, and
They
what
traded-
player did they take?
They traded back with the Browns, and the Browns took Trent Richardson.
That's right. 5-2, Luke Braun. Dude, that was a masterclass right there. Everybody knew, okay, you got Adrian Peterson on your team. We're not taking Trent Richardson, all right? You get an extra 4th, 5th, and 7th for sliding back 1 spot and still getting Matt Khalil, your guy. Would have been nice if they took Luke Kuechly looking back, but I digress. All
I'll
right.
be honest, I heard that wrong, and I thought you said 3rd round, and I was like, they trade back in the 3rd round 1 spot? That seems uncharacteristic.
Oh, 3rd overall pick. Maybe I did. Yeah, well, you never know. All right. 6-2, Luke Braun with the lead, running away with it. Number 8. Rick drafted Blair Walsh and Jeff Locke in back-to-back seasons. Which player did they use a higher draft selection on?
Arif?
Luke.
Arif?
Jeff Locke.
Jeff Locke. That's right.
Really?
5th round, Jeff
I
Locke,
would've
pick
been wrong.
number 155. Blair Walsh, 6th round, number 175. Drafted the punter
Oh, bye,
3
Luke.
rounds before.
Cool. Well, I think this means I win.
Oh, I think maybe just by default here. You did
Yeah.
get that one. You're climbing back here. Let me just update this scoreboard right now. So it's 5-3. Let's get Luke back in here. 5-3. Okay. It's really, this is not over by any means.
It's close.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, you're
It's
down
close
2.
to
Would have been tied without that Michael Mauti choke.
Oh, that's true. Actually, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Okay, number 8. Here we go. Over his 10 years drafting, which school did Rick Spielman draft from the most?
Arif. I'm just going to go with the memes. I don't actually know the answer. Notre Dame.
Incorrect.
Oh, that would have been my guess. Which did he draft? UCLA?
UCLA is one of the 2 teams he drafted the most. I was going to give you a point if you got either one. UCLA, he drafted 4 guys from UCLA. He also drafted 4 guys from Florida State. Anthony Barr, Kendricks, Jeff Baca, Jeff Locke from UCLA, Dalvin Cook, Xavier Rhodes, Denarius Robinson, the defensive end in the 4th round, and Everett
Did he only get like
Dawkins.
3 from Notre Dame? How does he not get at least 4 after all the jokes?
I know it. Yeah, 3
Lenton
from Miami.
Smith.
I don't even think he had a 3rd from Notre Dame, did he? I don't think so. He had 3 from Miami.
Because Rudolph was pre.
That was 2011. That was
2011.
1 year
We're not counting
technically
that, yeah.
before we're counting
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
God.
that's got a lot to do with it.
It's
All right.
killing me.
Okay, 7-3, I believe. 7-3.
Yeah, so I've lost.
7-3.
Wow.
All right, couple left here. In his 10 years, which school did Rick draft from more? Ohio State, Alabama, or LSU?
Arif.
Arif.
Ohio State.
Ohio State is correct.
Yeah,
Wyatt Davis,
Ohio
Pat
State.
Elflein, and
I
Jalen
knew-
Holmes. Number 3,
I knew it wasn't
Alabama.
LSU because when they drafted Daniil Hunter, everybody was like, finally.
An
They
LSU
finally
guy.
drafted the dude from
Right.
LSU. I thought he was
Right.
scared of the school.
I thought that might have been tricky just because you think Justin Jefferson and Daniil Hunter, but
No,
No,
that's
only
literally
2
just
from
those
LSU.
2?
2
Yeah.
from Alabama, Irv Smith and Austin Shepard, the offensive lineman, interior guy, 7th rounder. All right, 2 left here. Which Pro Bowl player was selected 1 pick after Irv Smith Jr.?
Luke. AJ Brown.
AJ Brown, that's right. I don't know why I threw that in. Just salty, I guess. Just salty. That's all. That's fine. But like a lot of people love to remind me, we might not have drafted Justin Jefferson then. So, I mean, you got to keep that.
They would not, if they had decided not to take Irv Smith, they wouldn't have gone right to a receiver.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually true. All right, 2 left here. Since 2006, the Vikings have never drafted this position in the first 2 rounds. Since 2006.
Luke.
Luke Brown.
How specific do you need? I think it's D end or
It's
like
D
D line.
It's D end. Yeah. How is
Yeah,
that
edge rusher.
possible?
Fine.
Because
keep
they
running
had
in the
Everson
3rd
Griffin
round.
and Daniil Hunter. Why would you
and
draft one?
And
And
Brian
before that, they had
Robeson
like
for a
Brian
little
Robinson,
bit,
and they
but yeah.
traded for Jared Allen, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's just,
That's true.
yeah.
All right, fair enough. By the way, a lot of 3rd round guys. I mean, Scott Crichton's,
Yeah.
Tons of
obviously
Crichton,
Daniil
last episode.
Hunter's, a lot of D linemen in the 3rd round as well. All right, next one up. In 1992, the Vikings drafted this defensive tackle from Florida. He would eventually go on to star in the CBS hit show Survivor and even win first place in season 34. Sam, don't spoil this one if you're still watching. Sam's a
Oh,
diehard
man.
Survivor guy. I'll give you a
92?
hint. 1992. I'll give you a hint. The last name is the same as a former first-round quarterback the Vikings selected. If
No
anybody's
idea.
watched Survivor, I mean, this guy's he's up there. He's an all-timer. He's a stud. He's won it. Nobody? 3, 2, 1. Brad Culpepper, defensive tackle from Florida. Brad.
Congrats to that guy.
Good
Yeah.
for Brad.
Check it out. Check it out. Okay, last one. Who was the Vikings' one and only number 1 overall pick? Luke Braun.
Luke. Ron Yeri.
Ron Yeri. What year?
70. No, sorry. 68?
1968.
I like that you threw a question in there and we're like, yeah, Luke Braun's going to get this one.
Well,
Not
he's
that you
a
were wrong.
historian, man.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, you're not really on your A game today, Arif.
No,
So
I'm
I
not.
just felt like,
The Audie Cole in the 3rd round versus 3rd overall really.
yeah, that kind of
destroyed me.
sets
Those
you
were my
off.
two best
Yep,
options.
Yeah.
that sets you off. Didn't have your A game. No big deal. All right, no big deal. 10-3, the final. Luke Braun, clearly the superior of the two of you now, because everybody knows draft trivia is how one
You're
would
just saying that to
determine
get me mad. That's not
someone's
going to work.
superiority. So
I've never been mad.
I've never been mad. No, me? Oh, God, no. Okay. All right. 1 to 10. I'm just curious because I had a lot of fun drawing those questions up. 1 to 10, how difficult were those?
You're terrible at drawing up trivia questions. In my humble
Really?
opinion.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they're too difficult, you're saying? Or you just
Too
didn't have
difficult?
fun? You just
It's because I didn't have fun. That's why.
okay.
There
That's
it
fair
is.
enough. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Don't go anywhere. We got our Go Get Our Guys segment plus live mock draft coming up. That's all coming up right after this. Quick reminder, today's episode brought to us by Amazon Fire TV, the #1 streaming platform around. From live games to highlights to in-depth analysis. With Amazon Fire TV, they offer amazing viewing experiences with smart TVs, as well as the Fire TV stick that you can plug into your existing TV. That gives you access to millions of movies and TV episodes, not to mention free and live cable TV as well. Whether it's the MLB season, PGA Masters, that's right around the corner, or the NFL draft at the end of the month, trust me when I say you're going to want to have a Fire TV at your fingertips on every device possible. Plus, Fire TV now includes all of our daily content from every Locked On channel and a vast majority of pro leagues and college conferences as well. You got to check out Fire TV channels on Fire TV and your Alexa devices. To learn more, visit Amazon.com/LockedOnFireTV. That's Amazon.com/LockedOnFireTV. Okay, definitely want to get to a live mock draft here. But first, Vikings have a handful of day 3 picks. As we know, we got 17 days until draft weekend. I want one guy on offense, one guy on defense. You're just banging the table for. If you're in the war room, and, we got to go on kind of general consensus right now, who's going to still be around on day 3. But go get your guys segment, one offense, one defense. Arif, we'll start with you. Who you got?
I didn't prepare for the segment. That's who I got.
Okay, we can buy you some time here. I mean, Luke Braun, you want to go? Whatever.
Sure, I'll give you a defense guy. So this year I've been just like focusing on only D-line, so I won't have an offense guy. But on the D-line, I'll give you a deep name. North Texas nose tackle Roderick Brown.
Ooh.
If you like the idea
nose tackles, man,
of Byron Murphy, was like undersized, does that like knee to the ground thing. Roderick Brown does it too. He's more undersized. That's he's going to go late. If he gets drafted at all, small school, smaller guy, but he has that same juice. I would love to get him in the building. See if he can't make the team.
Love it. Absolutely.
All right. A defensive guy that I do find interesting, and let's throw in an offensive guy because he's right next to the consensus big board I'm looking at. And so now he's my guy.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Simple logic. Yeah.
Another small school guy, Jalix Hunt, edge rusher from Houston Christian, I think. Let me take a look if I got that school correct. Yeah, Houston Christian. The best athletic tester from this year at the edge rusher position I have in my database, at least based off of like the history of what works well at those positions. He was fairly productive at Houston Christian. Obviously, it's a small school. I haven't had actual time to look at him play, so this is just me making some guesses. But, the scuttlebutt is he interviewed well at the combine. Who doesn't, though? And I don't know. I love athletes. I love bringing guys in that are incredible athletes. Along the same lines, Tip Ryman, blocking.
Illinois tight end.
Illinois.
He crushed that at the combine when nobody could get off the sled, and Tip Ryman comes in
was
and just
so fun when he demolished the blocking sled.
Was great.
After everyone else was like doing whatever. Other tight ends started clapping. Like it was just like an incredible.
Yeah, the crowd was clapping, going nuts.
Yeah, and everyone clapped. But what's cool about him is that aside from the fact that he has handled a very difficult job of blocking really well at Illinois, he tested as if he were a 230-pound tight end. He's 270 pounds. His ability to catch has not been crazy confirmed. He did really well in the gauntlet drill, but who's to say? But I don't know. I like it. Like obviously the Vikings have a blocking tight end in Josh Oliver. They had visions of turning him into a receiving guy that haven't materialized. And you might be investing, over-indexing basically at blocking tight end. But I would rather overdo it at getting good blocking tight ends that can't receive than getting good receiving tight ends that can't block, because you are still going to ask them to match up as blockers. Whereas if they're like, blocking is a point of failure thing, right? If you've got one bad block, it might blow up the run play. Receiving is not. So if you've got one guy who's not getting open, there's 3-4 other guys you can go to. So I would rather over-index at a guy that has upside as a receiver than has upside as a blocker, at least late in the draft. If it's early in the draft, I want to get guys who can catch.
No, that's a really good breakdown. That one makes a lot of sense. I'm jotting that name down for sure. My guy defensively, Renardo Green, Florida State. So Florida State's got 2 corners. Both of them could go, top 100 picks. But if this guy slips through the cracks, I'd be sprinting to the podium because of all the later round DBs, or cornerbacks specifically, I should say. I think he's got some of, if not the best, just pure man cover skills of them all in that day 3 kind of range. He was one of PFF's top rated man cover corners, 90 man coverage grade, according to PFF. He's not afraid to get up in your face at the line of scrimmage. He's got that confidence that you love at that position. Get him in that Brian Flores system and defense. Let him learn on the fly. High upside, I think, especially in this Brian Flores defense with those man cover skills. That's the guy I'd be banging for. And then offensively, we talked about running backs a lot last week. Arif, I think you and I are on the same page. Like this running back class, especially on day 3, just throw a dart up there, pick a flyer.
Ones, man.
Yeah, but I'll switch gears here this week just for parity's sake. Jacob Cohen from Arizona, big knock on him. He's small, man. Okay, I get it. He's 5'8". Probably $165 soaking wet. But knowing the Vikings are looking for that third wide receiver, hopefully he'd play a lot on the inside, you would think. Some of the best separation skills of maybe any wideout in the class. That speaks volumes because it is such a loaded wide receiver class. 81.6% separation grade per PFF. So all this guy does is just get open. Maybe you can argue some lower level competition he played at times and he torched them. But if you I think that's a young quarterback's new best friend. Another guy who can separate, get open. Day 3, if he's still around, I'm all about it. Got to take advantage, I think, of this wide receiver class at some point. Should be plenty of guys left on day 3, I would think. Okay, let's I don't think we've done this on this show before, have we? Not even like going back to last draft season. Let's jump into a live mock draft, shall we?
Sure.
Let's use the.
We did one last year. We took Andre Carter in the second round.
Oh, man, that's right. I just had major deja vu flashbacks. Andre Carter in the second round. I don't know whether to be proud of us.
It was before he bombed some tests. It was it wasn't the craziest thing at the time.
Okay.
No, I mean, there was a reason he was at that spot on the PFF board, but it was
like the Monday after he had a really good Senior Bowl. Or no, he had a bad, or no, it was before the Senior Bowl because he had a bad Senior Bowl. That's what it was.
Yeah, and that's when he started dropping and then dropping and then dropping.
And then just kept dropping. All right, keep talking. Buy me some time before I can pull up this.
Arif, give me. So I'm not gonna look at the running backs at all this year. Give me a name to blindly attach my entire hopes and dreams to.
Kamani Vidal from Troy.
Yeah,
got it. He's my guy.
He's not a Power 5 guy, so it's easy to fall in love with him. Group of 5 guys are so fun to like.
If you want the athlete, though, not to throw too many on your plate, but Isaac Guerendo from Louisville, 222, weighs 222, ran a 4.33 40. The RAS score is just absolutely off the charts.
I think
I'm going to group of 5 guy.
There's a lot of I already fall in love with athletes way too much. I'm clearly biased in favor of good testers. We can't all do that. That's fine.
That's fine. We can't all do it. You're right. That makes sense. Okay, so I feel like there's a couple different avenues we can do. We can either do like a full first round mock draft. Of course, we got about 15 minutes, so we got to fly through these. But first round, mock draft. We'll rotate picks, right? Or we can do a Vikings only mock draft. We can do a group think, kind of get together, brainstorm a little bit. Who do we want to pick? Or we can each fire through our own separate, rapid fire, super quick, own Vikings mock draft. We'll post them on Twitter, see who gets the most votes. What do you think? What do you guys want to do?
Let's work together on a Vikings draft because that sounds like the fastest way to do this.
I love your mindset. Okay, here we go.
Turn that speed down, though, because we're going to want to trade up.
Ooh, okay. How slow you thinking here? We can't go too slow.
I've
never done anything but turbo.
Fine.
It's
right in the middle is fine. Gives us a chance to pause at New England so we can talk about it.
And we're good with these settings. I've never touched any of these settings when I've done
Don't
this.
touch
I
settings.
don't care.
Don't touch. Don't be that guy. Okay. Right off the bat, guys, do we want to offer New England or Arizona a pick right now before this thing even gets going, so we don't get sniped?
Yeah,
we
we could pre-trade with
2003?
New England. Just
Let's do it.
the Vikings wouldn't do it, but like let us do it because it doesn't matter. We'll take a quarterback no matter what, right?
You don't think the Vikings would? I think the Patriots might not because they don't know who's gonna.
Right.
Be
So
there,
here's the thing.
The Vikings would take it.
So here's the thing. 11 and 23 would get it done, and there's still plenty of argument about that. I think that it's
so
probably.
funny.
I think it's
BFF,
probably,
what are you doing?
I know. I think it's probably though somewhere in the middle. I really do think 11, 23
Well, okay,
and
so
2026 first, maybe.
Here's
plenty.
Here's the deal. It does not matter in the simulation if we trade a future pick. So
absolutely
just start send this one.
Send a round 5 next year just so that the screenshot looks fun.
Who's going to be worse, Cleveland or
Let's
us? Which pick, Cleveland or us?
In 2025,
Cleveland.
us.
We're going to be worse, so we're sending Cleveland's pick. Okay. All right. Can I get greedy and just ask for a little change back here? Can I get the 103, 137?
Oh, let's do it. Give it a shot. Give it a shot.
Ask for 103.
Okay.
Yeah, give it a shot.
Oh,
Wait,
I just started the draft.
Pause. Oh, my God.
Unbelievable, dude. Sam.
Oh, we Mike Tyced it.
Sam, are you here?
He clicked simulate instead of offer trade.
Before you do anything, can we see who was picked at 2?
Oh, yeah.
Drake May.
Drake
and
May.
then
Oh, okay, no, yeah. Start over. Start the simulation over.
Okay. All right. Now we know what we're doing. I got
I was like, hey, maybe we
let's
can
just save scum this.
Yeah, dude. That's actually a good point. Maybe we would have been all right. Okay. That's so funny. I practiced beforehand. I was like, okay, don't hit start draft, dude. Just one time, just a quick run through. And I still did it. I said, "Don't." Well, look at this shiny blue button in bold. Start
incredible.
Draft.
Okay,
11,
I do think that there is a UX issue here that contributed to the problem.
Yes,
but I still think it's very funny.
Okay, fair enough.
Phenomenal.
Right. Not accepted.
Phenomenal.
Let's go.
Not
137. Really?
Not accepted.
180.
Okay, you only get 5. Just
Just
do this. Just offer now.
Just offer this.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
Whoa!
No, oh, you gotta. I think you gotta put a real 2025 pick in there. Then
yeah, round 2.
There is no round.
100% chance to be accepted. Just do it.
All right. Okay, so we're going into next year without a second and a third. Just
doesn't matter. It's a simulation.
Doesn't matter. We got a quarterback.
Can I 180?
Stop it.
Okay. You guys are going to thank me. You guys are going to thank me for that 180 later. All right, here we go. Start draft. Let's get going here. Come on, guys. We're on the clock.
We got there.
2. Oh, no.
And we got Jaden Daniels.
Let's get Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
I see this as an absolute win.
Okay. I just for argument's sake here, Brock Bowers on one side.
We don't have time for arguments. Draft Jaden Daniels.
We're on the clock. We're going to run out of time. We'll get sniped by Arizona.
We'll get Jordan Gross and Byron Leftwich by the Jags.
Now you're going to have to ramp up the speed slider because we cannot be waiting this long.
Yeah, we're going to now wait until we're on the clock.
Okay,
here
we go, guys. All right, no pick until 108, but we got to
could have had Michael Pratt. Shouldn't have traded up.
Dang.
Franchise is over. All right. So here we go. I'm thinking defense. Obviously, Dwayne Carter, I would absolutely love at defensive tackle. Fits a huge need, and I think the value is there as well. I know you and I both like Audric Estime, but I think we got to wait on running back.
I'm going to wait. Like, look at all these running backs. I'm going to wait.
Yeah. Cam Hart, I absolutely love. Cooper Beebe, I would like.
Jarvis Brownlee's there. So I do like Cam Hart here.
Okay.
There is some rumor that he's going to go on day 2 because 6'4" guys that test really, really well.
Like Julius Brents last year. Kansas State.
Yeah.
Indy, second round, third round.
Yeah. I think that you're just not going to get guys with length, speed, and who test well in agilities often on day 3. So I know we had somebody in the chat say, I don't like Cam Hart. I don't care. I do. Let's grab him.
Well, Nick Riley said take Carter. 1,000% Carter. So he's on my team here. Dwayne Carter, defensive tackle. Luke, you are the deciding vote. Do you want to go corner or do you want to go defensive tackle? I'm fine either way, but
of course I'm going to say defensive tackle.
Okay. Defensive tackle it is. Dwayne Carter.
Hey,
who knows? We'll see who's there at 129 now. Ooh, Cooper Beebe. Malik Washington staring us in the face.
I would slam Beebe.
Oh, man.
Yeah, let's just see because we skipped on corner.
What kind of corners we got here?
And now we got about 30 picks until our next pick.
I don't love the top here, so we can wait now on corner.
No. Do we go Beebe?
Yeah, just slam it.
God.
I was hoping he was going to be there later in the 4th. That rocks.
Okay, I love that.
Oh, I like that Texas tackle too, but he's a tackle.
Yeah, Jones. Okay, there's Garendo. I was just telling you about him.
Hey,
There's Garendo.
yeah, just
Zach
talking about
Zinter,
him.
we don't need him anymore. Joe Milton, just for LOLs.
Milton.
Boy, corners,
Dylan
defensive end. Let's just look at just real quick again. Corner. Not a lot, man. Boy, we missed out.
Johnny
didn't we?
Dixon, we can wait on him
Okay, you
if we
like
want
him?
him. I
Okay.
kind of like him, but that's about it. So we might just be out on corner.
Well, 91 PFF grade right here. 3 interceptions.
Sure. How come I've never heard of him?
Don't worry about that.
Skill issue?
Dude, don't worry about that. And then let's just check edge rusher. Anything jumping out here? Boy, I'll tell you what.
well,
3 weeks ago,
couple
you
of
used
those
to
You got a
be able to
get
James
bats.
Madison Duke there, so obviously I'm happy
Oh,
about that. We can wait. We can grab
Okay.
him later.
195.
Okay.
We'll get him. We'll get him.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what are you guys thinking?
I mean, Guarendo looks interesting here.
Well, let's just see. Can we wait on running back as well?
Who else is there
Rendo,
running back? Dylan
Lobby.
Lobby.
Oh, Vidal, your guy.
Kamani Vidal is later, so we
Kamani
can
Vidal.
potentially
He's my guy.
wait.
Get Vidal.
He's your guy now. How about receiver? Isaiah Williams intrigues me. I know a lot of people like Luke McCaffrey. I'm kind of on the opposite side of the
kinda out
fence.
on him.
Yeah. Boy, receivers and
This is
corners
not
went
great.
quick, man.
Well, wait. Let's take a look at our trade-off.
We are in the 5th round of the draft. So
That's true. That's true. we
So,
could move
what
back.
are the
We
what
could
are
get
the
our
offers
5th
that we're
back,
receiving?
or maybe we can get our 6th back.
no, we're not getting anything.
I mean, what do you want?
Wait, it
Detroit?
says
You
we
want
have
it or
an
not?
offer,
I don't even
right?
want. Yeah, I'm looking at. it.
We'd have to
Yeah.
trade. Yeah, we'd have to like move a 5th to a 4th next year or something like that.
Yeah, I don't want anything in the 230s. I've done this before. We already have 2 picks in the 230s.
We are
mean, if I-
tanking out this 5th round pick so
Do-
hard.
Do you want an extra 6? Let's just pick.
Just slam a running back.
All right. Who do you want? Or do
I
we
don't
go
know any of
Milton?
them.
Or do we go Milton?
Scroll down just a little bit more. Sorry.
Mustafa's
Um,
not bad. The safety. We just have 9 safeties. Javon Foster, interesting at tackle. I like him. Miles Murphy, North Carolina, DN.
I would have liked him, but we already grabbed a defensive tackle.
That's true. Can we have
All right,
another
let's
one?
let's
though?
get
Is that
Guarendo.
all right? Okay. All right. We're getting the speedster, baby. Got to take a running back every year. I like it. All right. Milton's staring us in the face.
Let's double QB it, Kirk Cousins style.
Should we? The
Not with
first
Milton.
year. Okay, not with Milton. All right, fair enough.
Yeah,
how
true.
about Nugent? How about a center?
Uh,
Cooper
He's
Beebe.
like the only Michigan O line worth a darn.
Nugent center.
Whatever it
That'd
is,
be nice.
do not take that tackle, that Michigan tackle.
Henderson. Really?
You keep him off my team.
that bad? Wow. Hey, how about what if Hawkinson starts on the pup? How about Jaheim Bell or Barner,
Yeah,
Tip Ryman
something
we were
there.
talking about?
Well, so if that happens, it's probably a lot of like more snaps for Josh Oliver, more snaps. You're looking for somebody to like, I guess, compete with Munt, but I don't know if you're getting like a day
so all
one.
3 of these
ready
guys are
guy
like
here.
blocking tight ends, right? I mean, like Jaheim Bell was
Jaheim
even
Bell's
projected
like
to
an
be-
H-back kind of guy. I mean,
Yeah,
Jaheim Bell's
and
actually
Who's going to do stuff on special teams of this group?
Probably Barner
probably
and Ryman.
Barner. Yeah. Yeah, nothing really jumping out there, unfortunately.
Scroll down a little bit more. I'm
Mhm.
kind of curious about Walter Rouse, but I don't know.
All right, 10 seconds.
Oh, what up, Jordan Jefferson?
Yeah, we already grabbed
Already
the guy
got a
there.
D
I
tackle.
wish we would have taken, was it that defensive tackle? There's no reason we could have drafted 2 of them. How about Jordan Jefferson?
We were just
That's what
talking
I'm
about
What do
that. Let's
We got to leave here with more than 1 defensive lineman here.
I want an edge rusher and a linebacker later on, but for right now,
How about double dip right here?
no guys worth double dipping on right now.
Okay. All right. Luke.
Yeah, let's go with Drake Nugent then.
Andrew in the chat says Luke loves special teams. That's right. When you're in a round 6, round 7 pick, that's how you make the team.
Absolutely.
You don't get to not be a starter and also not be on special teams. That gets you cut.
That's true.
All right,
Sure.
so I like either Jaheim Bell or Jalen Harrell here.
I'll go Harrell. I'll go either one. I like Bell a lot as the player, as a talent. I think
grab
we
the
need
edge.
Harrell for position. Okay, Harrell. There we go.
Get a
Got
little
our
depth
edge
there.
Do we go another edge? Bang, bang. Michigan.
Michigan. Let's Spielman it.
Should we Spielman it?
Well, hold on.
Or Jordan Jefferson.
What kind of tackle is Dwayne Carter?
Oh, you don't know?
No, tell me.
I don't know either.
God, Jesus. Because I know Jordan Jefferson's more of a nose, so I don't want to
Yeah.
double dip at nose. That's the issue.
No, he's honestly, he's more of a pass rushing 3-tech, to be honest. So I don't really know exactly what we're going to do with him. Slide him over at 5-tech to start.
Sure.
But
The Jerry Tillery spot that we have a whole bunch of players that might not make the team at.
Right. We can get McCaffrey just for some name brand value. Again, I'm not huge on McCaffrey, to be honest, but didn't draft a receiver.
I would be into the big guy if we have a smaller D tackle, and now we just have like some actual depth there. But we're also
how big is Dwayne Carter?
Are we still
6'3",
5?
about 285, 6'3" though.
We went so quick at the beginning, and now we have just screeched.
Yeah,
to
it's 'cause
a
we
I
don't know who
think
these
this
guys
is a
are.
good exercise as far as this guy's 6'4", 317. Pair him up with
F
Jaquel
it,
and
dude.
Roy.
Whatever. Let's take him.
I really like Jordan Jefferson.
Just get some bodies in there, man. Let's get some beef up front, huh?
He's really
All right.
disruptive for a nose. Like he's in the backfield a lot when usually you just need him to like hold his spot.
Sold. Done. All right, Carter Bradley. Trevin Wallace, is that our linebacker in the 230s?
What are the linebackers are available? Oh, Tyler Owens is there. Okay, we don't need a safety, but man, what a tester.
That would be fun.
We're
Jacob
just taking
Wallace.
RAS guys now.
Yeah. Hey.
Point.
you
This
know I'm not a
Washington
Rask guy
guy.
anymore.
This Washington guy was going way higher 2 months ago when this whole process started. I don't know.
I like Jordan
know if-
McGee. We might be able to grab him with our next pick. We only have 2 picks left.
Only
right?
2 picks later. So
yeah,
that's the guy you want out of all these linebackers, not Wallace or Jacobs.
I mean, I'm not against Wallace. I feel like he's one-dimensional. But it is the end of the draft, so I'm not going to be too picky.
Luke, any input?
I'll just say let's take the guy that makes the team on special teams. You just need somebody who can run fast enough.
Yeah, I think McGee would do that.
Okay.
Let's get a receiver with this one.
Okay. A lot of options here.
Oh boy,
A lot of options.
Jesus.
Let's go Franklin. Franklin is 6'1", 185.
Take the guy from the weirdest school, which would be
I like
in this
that.
case.
Yeah.
Was he hurt last year? This feels like a spill.
I don't know. Not a weird school. Let's move on.
Okay, fair. Idaho.
Kind of weird.
6'2". Look at these grades, baby. 90,
Hey,
90 back-to-back
look at
years.
that.
Let's do it.
Punch
How could he be bad?
Last one. You want that linebacker? Got to get a linebacker. Which one do you want?
Jordan McGee.
Jordan McGee it is from Temple. Wow. And let's check this grade out here, huh?
See what
And
PFF thinks we did.
We should have drafted Kalen Bullock. What?
Here's the deal, man. We got our
Center?
quarterback of the future, Dwayne Carter, AAA, Cooper
B-minus.
Beebe. So this draft really feels like it all revolved around this rookie quarterback. You got 2 guys to help on the interior. You got
We got a
running
lot
back,
of picks for
and
a
you got
team that traded up to 3.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? Well, we got that extra 6-rounder thanks to me. You guys peer pressured me, but luckily I stuck to my guns and got us.
Yeah, and we
pick 180,
got a
which
guy
turned
we
out to
didn't even.
Jordan
we were
Jefferson.
like, I don't know, man. I guess we already have a tackle.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's true.
That
You're
was
not
great,
wrong.
and at least it didn't take us way longer than we planned for it to.
That's true too. PFF gave us a B-. What do you guys give that? Did we learn anything there? I know it's a mock draft simulator, but
I
like
learned who
things
Dwayne
get
Carter
thin
is.
quick. Things get thin
yeah,
quick.
you're
at
learning about the
corner,
cliffs.
wide receiver, the
Yeah,
cliffs,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, like
And-
how many times did we go in going, I don't know, like linebacker still feels pretty good, you know?
Right. No, that's true. Let's see if we got one fan question, then we got to get out of here. Otherwise, Sam's gonna kill us. All right.
He's already.
What's the most off the wall question you'd ask these quarterback prospects? Richard Kruger.
Off the
Off the
wall
wall?
question.
The
I don't
problem
know.
is most of them are like illegal and uncomfortable. So I have
Yeah,
to like
yeah.
I feel like
get
it's
myself
like the
out of
running back
framework
market.
of what a
It's like the
GM
running back
would
market
ask.
reverting over. Yeah, we got to miss the wrong way.
Oh,
now.
wait, what's their Elden Ring build? Want to hear about
Oh,
that's
perfect.
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about Tavondre Sweat, the big nose tackle from Texas,
Yep.
360
Yeah, was it
pounds?
Dewey?
So
right?
there are
Dewey.
some concerns beyond this as well because of the weight rumor at the Senior Bowl. And like, is he too big of a guy? And also, I don't really like how he takes on doubles, so I'm kind of out.
So you're kind of out altogether on that.
If
Yeah.
you're gonna be that big and not be the best guy on your team at taking double teams, that's kind of
Okay.
wild.
I did not mean to.
It's very funny that the other guy is much better taken. I mean, the other guy's a first rounder, but it is
Yeah.
kind of funny.
Yeah, he's a
All
first
right.
rounder, but he's 300 pounds and he like is clearly better at it than you.
Last one here. Let's revert all the way back to the beginning. Drake May maybe surprised some people. Went to, who knows, maybe the Jane Daniels stuff and his former coach saying he's going to Washington smokescreen. Would you be upset or shocked or disappointed just if Drake May did go bang, bang, 1-2 before?
So
I know a lot of people are on Drake May. That's why I'm asking.
I wouldn't be
No, I
shocked
love
or
Jane
disappointed
Daniels.
because he was QB2. He's supposed to be QB2. So the fact that it's flipped and now people are putting him at the bottom of the first or whatever, and it'll just rubber band. I don't care. So if Drake May goes 2, I'm not going to be upset. I'm going to be excited if he doesn't, but I wouldn't be upset if he did. As for the Jane Daniels injury thing, that is a constant concern I have, right? I bring it up every time we talk about drafting Jane Daniels. I am concerned. He takes on a lot of hits. He is frail. I don't want to overdo it, though. Right, he started for 5 years. How many injuries took him out of games? None?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to overdo the injury thing. It is pure projection. Some of these quarterbacks have actually been hurt, right? So I do want to say that, like, hey, man, maybe he's got loose ligaments. Maybe it's not as big a deal as we might think.
Yeah, those like Looney Tunes hits they look a lot worse
funny.
than like they're funny, but in terms of like the actual injury risk they represent, you'd much rather have that than have his ankle get rolled up, right? Because you go flying, but because you've gone flying, all of that inertia has taken you somewhere. Like that energy got used on something that isn't your body, which is moving you, and that's why I can always pop up from those.
Yeah,
so,
he's not resisting motion.
Right. So like as long as toughness isn't a question, which I don't think it is, then that concern, I mean, it still is going to be a concern just with his frame and all that, but that's baked into the evaluations that we've
I
all
love the idea
done.
that he like immediately turns into ragdoll physics mode when he gets hit.
Right.
Like,
is it that like a thing? Like, yeah.
It is. What 100% is. So one reason that quarterbacks get injured less on blindside hits than on frontside hits, even though people are always concerned about blindside hits because they do occur more often because you can't.
Yeah. It's the worst pressure because of like, sack conversion and whatever. But
yeah, but they get hurt less on it because they don't see it, so they don't tense up. So like,
you're wrong. We gotta go. Sam's gonna kill us. Hey, the eclipse is about to start. Save that thought, Arif. We got to get out of here. Same time, same place. Thursday, our guy Ron Johnson stopping by. Until then, you can check out Luke Braun every day on Locked On Vikings. Got to check out Arif over on the Wide Left Substack. Myself, T-Wolves Twins postcast this week, all week long, really, as well. For the two Lukes, Arif Hasan. Until next time, signing out.